When you think about the Purple Mountain's majesty, the amber waves of grain, the red, the white, and the blue, Hulkamania is right there with it, brother. That's because the prayers, the dreams of America, and all those little Hulkamaniacs are going into that ring with me tonight, brother. It's all on the line right here in Dayton, the heartland of the USA. And as I step in that ring, by crook or by hook, I'll put that big man down. What you gonna do when America and the largest guns destroy you?
Hello and welcome to OSW Review, the old school wrestling video podcast, filmed in glorious Scrabble Vision and encoded with blast processing. We chronologically critique wrestling storylines, pay-per-view by pay-per-view. This is your host, your boy, the Vaunted. Oh, I've got some Pokemon for you. Jay Hunter.
Ah, what's your name? Jay Hunter. Very nice.
Yeah, I like it. Can't wait to see what OC is.
Now we see what V1 is. Dickhead.
It's EV1.
Yes, I will take it. It's awesome. I absolutely
Very
want
nice.
you to send me that picture,
Very
by the
nice.
And Ho-Ho-C.
Very good. Very good.
I don't know who that Pokemon is, but I did know the first two.
It's Ho-Oh.
Ho-Oh.
Yeah, so Ho-O-C.
I like it. Can of Coke to whoever made those.
Yes, a can of Pokemon.
That's it. Show's over. We're not going to top that joke.
It's OSW episode 76, Hogan's Last Stand at the King of the Ring 93, and it's coming up right now.
That's what I am! The total package!
Lex Luger has come from out of nowhere.
And your t-shirts are too tight too, Billy! I don't know!
Welcome, youngers. Happy days are here again. How is it going, Mr. LSE?
Yeah, same.
V1?
More of the same.
Excellent.
Mostly the same. And Jay, how are you?
Oh, excellent. Fucking ecstatic, man. I can't wait to get into this show.
Yeah, I'm
It's
dying to talk about
going
this.
to be amazing. Oh, big thanks to Carl Chocotano for the Killing Joke artwork.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like the Joker, the Alan Moore artwork. Yeah, but it's with
Oh, the cameraman.
yeah. Dale Harvey Whippleman.
40 coats.
Thank you, sir. Carl Chocotano, great work.
It's a really fucking good picture. By the way, if you've never read that comic, it's bloody great.
Cheers for the feedback from Smack'em Whack'em. Where'd you get that? Whack'em. What'd you think of the show?
Really liked it. The animation, the OOC animation. Excellent. Best part of the show, of course.
I would agree. I love that bit. OC with his Jesus thing. He goes down and he's like, "You shall not have Cena. You shall have butt plug on." It's great. And Yoko played a Stormer, lads.
2 bits of animation there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam Anime, well done, mate. Ask McCodum. Tweet him something lovely. Everyone, how is Lena? How's your daughter, Lena?
She currently hates me because I've been killing cute animals on Red Dead and driving her mad. It's the greatest fun I think I've ever had. I love torturing children, making them cry, bro.
Splicey.
What did the fox say? Nothing, because he's dead.
No, why? No.
Don't look, Lena. Don't look.
I'm going, you're mean.
Hey, she's the biggest heel of ever.
You killed one of her birds as well at one point, didn't you? Like a real bird.
Oh yeah, snapped its neck.
You
Yeah.
flushed it down the toilet.
Did you have to stamp on it first? Though?
They had to know it was rubbish.
Ripped off his neck and then like taped it back to her, and she was going, "Pretty bird, pretty bird."
What a cunt.
Yeah.
Excellent, Steve. Will you plug your URL, please?
Come watch me play games. Twitch.tv/OSW review.
Excellent. Another day, another dollar, another OSW tattoo.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yes.
Mike Cornwell at SuiCycoMyko. Kaboom.
Oh, lovely. Very nice. Very nice.
Can you describe it to the fans here, Steve?
So he's got the barbed wire. Oh, the bit at the bottom is not part of the tattoo.
No, I think that's just like an anarchy tattoo.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Or he's a big fan of Abyss. Farty arms.
Doesn't Dean Ambrose have that as well?
Oh, yeah.
Mike Cornwell, man, whopper job, man. And for this, we shall open his busker buckle. All right, his bottom boy is Matt Hardy.
Yeah, okay. I think Matt Hardy is right on the edge of being eligible to be a boy. But I still think he is a boy.
He's kind of escaped the stable in a way, hasn't he? he's
running free now.
He's kind of halfway out the
frolicking
window.
somewhere in a field. Like,
He's free range, boy.
Gangrel.
yes!
Definitely.
Massive boy.
Yeah, he does-
Literally now. He's enormous nowadays, right?
He does porn. He directs porn now.
Okay, because I was going to say who'd let him get up on them, you know? Maybe Sonny. I do not want to see that. I do not want to see that, by the way.
La Parka. WCW, he's that kind of famous gif of him playing the guitar with the...
Yeah. That's literally all I know him from.
He also waggles his knees as well. It's pretty good stuff.
Like, I'm pretty sure if you're into Mexican wrestling, he's not a boy, but US wrestling, absolutely boy.
Ooh, Shelton Benjamin.
Great wrestler, but couldn't cut it on the mic. He could have been so much more.
What about Shelton's mama?
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
That, like,
I love that gimmick.
Even if he's so wildly talented that he can't be a boy, Shelton's mama, he is her boy. And so therefore he's everyone's boy.
Oh.
If you need an elderly black woman to get you over, you're doing something wrong.
The only thing that could have made that gimmick better was if Shelton's mama was played by Eddie Murphy. Wearing all the fucking Norbert shite.
Val Venus.
Yeah.
Big Valboski.
Solid.
His song, I think, is like a rejiggered version of the Models theme.
Is it?
Yeah. I didn't really notice it. Oh, it is, yeah. And finally, the Road Dogg, Jesse James.
Definite boy.
One of my biggest memories of Road Dogg is the 99 Rumble, and he was a hardcore champion and he faced Big Boss Man. I remember I used to put on wrestling when I'm going to sleep and I'd be knocked out before that match starts.
Nice.
We're talking 6 minutes into the show, so bang! Like it's a strong sedative.
And this was, you paid for it, like.
I recorded it off Sky Sports.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't like you paid for it and fell asleep.
No.
Every night. Here, Vince, here's $21.99 again. Like,
Excellent. Whopper stable,
that's
Mike.
actually a good one. That's
Yeah.
a really, really good one.
Oh, thank you, man. Another OSW tattoo. Awesome. With our hot dogging and grandstanding out of the way, let's get you up to speed. The King of the Ring. As an event, it had 3 phases: Inception, Peak, and Trough. Guess what stage we're in now? The tournament has been a house show staple going since 1985. Why bring it to pay-per-view? WCW did 6 pay-per-views in 92, and WWF flirted with adding more pay-per-views, like this Tuesday in Texas in 91, and wanted to bring a 5th pay-per-view to the lineup. When they locked down Hogan for another match, King of the Ring as a pay-per-view was a goer. But King of the Ring was already a thing. It was an annual house show tournament starting in 1985, held in Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, and in Providence Civic Center in Rhode Island. Ooh, we go through the winners real quick. 1985, Don Morocco beating out Sheiky Baby in the finals. 1986, King Harley Race. He suffered a stomach injury wrestling Hogan, and he bequeathed the gimmick to King Haku, who cemented his legacy by actually beating King Harley Race at Royal Rumble 89. Episode 12. He lost his crown to Jim Duggan, confirming what a huge mistake that was.
What does that have to do with anything? Uh-oh. Good catch. He looks like the lion on the Wizard of Oz. What's that, his brains falling out on the mat?
Hacksaw wasn't officially a king though, but he lost the 1987 King of the Ring finals to Macho King Randy Savage.
Yeah. Finally someone who's not shite.
Who had his Queen Sherry and they sat on a throne being brought to the ring. The coolest king of all time. He'd only dropped the gimmick at WrestleMania 7 losing to the Warriors, so he, retired his career-ending match and dropped the gimmick at the same time. 1988. The $1 Million King, Ted DiBiase, besting Macho in the finals. 1989, oh my god, Tito Santana.
Arriba!
The Mexican.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Arriba Man jobbing out the model. Oh, and then WWF just skipped 1990. And in 1991, Bret Hart squeaking out IRS. So going into the first ever King of the Ring pay-per-view, Bret was the reigning king, but wasn't the only royalty on the roster vis-a-vis Jerry the King Lawler. More on that later. King of the Ring would enjoy a lengthy run throughout the New Generation and Attitude Era until being scrapped after 2002. How come? Well, how come anything really? Money. Pay-per-views built around tournaments generally don't do well in America, except for Deadly Game in 98 for the new WWF champion. Remember Deadly Game? Man, Vince Russo. Good stuff, mate. Also, King of the Ring tournaments became a smaller part of the pay-per-view, like they just do the semi-finals and finals, and it's more of a because it's June routine, rather than having a plan to elevate careers. Even if the last couple of winners, Angle, Edge, Brock, went on to become huge stars, it wasn't thanks to the King of the Ring and Splice King Edge proclaiming that he won't Billy Gunn the title.
Awesome. I was just about to say, you left out the greatest king, Mr. Billy Gunn.
And Commissioner, I vow to you that I will not Billy Gunn this King of the Ring title. Then I hereby decree that the first act in the era of awesomeness will be to totally annihilate Billy Bitch Cakes.
However, WWE, with their 26 hours of weekly content, need a gimmick to fill time, so sporadically bring the tournament back. So we went from house shows from 1985 to 91, to fully fledged pay-per-views from 93 all the way to 2002, then cancellation for 4 years. So revived in 2006 as part of the Judgment Day pay-per-view with King Booker.
Nice.
Fort Knox doesn't have gold like that.
2008 with GM William Regal. King Regal?
Who was amazing. Wasn't he the GM at that time?
Yes.
And they were going to make him like crazy heel.
Yeah.
And he like did the gimmick where he like ended Raw early. And it was amazing.
Just turn off the lights. Yeah.
Ready for take 4.
Take it
Ready,
off
1,
the
take
air.
1, take 2. Ready 4.
Take it off the bloody! Take it off the air now!
And then he got injured and he was done, right?
Was it not the steroids, no?
It was
shit.
It was a steroids issue. Oh wow, 2010, King Sheamus.
The real highlight. You know what? People shit on this, and rightly so, yeah, of course. But I thought his crown looked cool.
It did. It was like a red kind of wispy yolk. Yeah. And finally, in 2015, where can you go down from that?
I don't remember this.
A network special with King Barrett.
Oh yeah, King Barrett. Oh, some bad news for you, mate.
Yeah. I think the tournament is a great idea. Obviously, most people don't if they're not watching it, but I would absolutely need to see quarterfinals, semifinals, and final in the same pay-per-view. I'm not having this, yes, we've got the semis and the final on pay-per-view, or we're going to have the final on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I think it should be an endurance competition.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole gimmick. I'm fine with King of the Ring as a gimmick, but I think you should only do it if you have a plan going forward. Just putting this title on someone for the sake of having a show once a year, like, I'll say it does more damage, but it doesn't help.
And especially if you have to wear a silly crown and a silly costume, you're going to be stupid unless you can put it over in some kind of way.
Yeah.
I think you have to have a comic element to your character to make it work. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you don't, you're just a knob. With Money in the Bank, WWE don't really need another vehicle to push stars, but I love tournaments, which requires longer term booking, producing impromptu huge matches like we'll see tonight with Bret and Perfect, so I'm all for it. WWE in general have a rough time between Mania and SummerSlam, like that's their slump during the summer, and then they get trounced by football in September and... until January when it's time for the
So you're
Rumble.
saying they have 3 good months every year?
With regards to bringing back the King of the Ring pay-per-view, like whatever they replace it with doesn't do much better business, you know? So it's silly to discard a 25-year-old pay-per-view tradition. It just needs intriguing booking and a hook. Like in 2002, what's wrong with that? The King of the Ring winner gets the title shot at SummerSlam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whopper.
And plus, in this day and age where you're not actually making money by getting fans to buy a show monthly, people just pay for the fucking network. Maybe they could do a King of the Ring like Saudi show and the Aussie house show. They can go to a different country and say, we're going to do King of the Ring here.
So that was the history of the King of the Ring. Now let's go to the inaugural edition, perhaps its peak, in 1993.
Welcome to the heartland of America as the World Wrestling Federation presents the first ever King of the Ring extravaganza.
Curtain up, Vince kicks off with another throat-burning stormer. He runs down the card, touting 8 of the toughest WWF superstars will bang heads in a grueling tournament to crown the first ever King of the Ring, including Ruthless Razor Ramon and the sinister Mr. Hughes. 2 nicknames that are never used before or since. By the way, he says, can you go welcome to the heartland of America?
Welcome to the Heartline.
Nope.
No.
That's better than if you did it correctly.
By the way, Vince says, welcome to the heartland of America. They generally avoid saying Dayton, Ohio, in favor of just the Nutter Center or the heartland of America, as Dayton is viewed as a B city and they were embarrassed to be there.
That's so stupid, isn't it?
What's the A city in Ohio?
Oh no, there is no A city in Ohio. Ohioans,
Springfield.
tell me. Ohioans, you tell us. So yeah, move over, fuck you Britain. This is fuck you Dayton.
Yeah, that's really, really mean.
It's the first ever King of the Ring pay-per-view, an 8-man single elimination tournament. It's June 13th, 1993 from the Nutter Center in Dayton, fuck you Vince, with 230,000 TVs tuned in at home, 8,000 sellout, 7,000 paid with an average ticket price of
$14.
$26.
$11.14.
The lean years. How can they afford to pay the wrestlers 25 quid if the fans are only paying 11?
There's more wrestlers than fans.
The lowest gate of the decade so far.
Really? Fuck you, Dayton. Yeah. Vince is right. I'm so sorry, mate.
Whoa, yes, it's good old JR with Macho and Brain on commentary. A youthful, high-pitched JR.
Yeah, he sounds completely different. Looks so young. By the way, he was great during this show.
He would get better, but yeah, he was.
OC, you're watching the WWE Network version, which was
2 hours 43.
V1. You, sir, are watching the WWF Coliseum home video release.
Which is the same, 2 hours 43.
And I'm watching the live version, 2 hours 46. For 3 minutes, not including the pre-show, aka the request special presentation.
Sounds bollocks.
30 minutes long. 10 minutes shown not once, not twice, but thrice. Meanest Genius runs down the matches from the Master Control Center in the WWF. Of note, he recaps the finish of Mania 9, where Fuji threw salt into Bret's eyes, blinding him so Yoko could capture his WWF title. But then Hogan was challenged and accepted and beat Zuna in an impromptu match. In the fallout, Fuji filed a formal complaint against Tony for sanctioning the match that they asked for. Yoko's just mugging for the camera. He's trying to be menacing, but it looks like he's gonna burst out laughing. Tony dismisses the claim, restating that Hogan is the champion. But all's not lost, Yoko. You'll get your rematch tonight. Ooh, there was a dark match. USWA Unified Champion Papa Shango beat the WWF's Owen Hart to retain. What the fuck? A USWA champion on a WWF show? Yes! WWF had no developmental system, so they had a working agreement with Jeff Jarrett's dad, Jerry Jarrett, who ran the CWA and later the USWA. So WWF had their feeder system, using the USWA to develop inexperienced wrestlers and test out gimmicks. Feeders.
Feeder system, is that fucking Fuji, is it?
And USWA got more bums and seats because they'd used WWF talent. So here's WWF promoting USWA having their champion Papa Shango wrestle and beat WWF talent Owen Hart. You've been tangled. Our inaugural contest is a King of the Ring quarterfinals matchup. Bret Hart versus Razor Ramon. How did they qualify? Bret Hart heelishly received the bye, and Razor rolled over Tito Santana. Worth noting, Bret was working with an ankle injury he got wrestling Duck Arse Bob Backlund in MSG the prior night. Although he'd be carrying a kayfabe rib and finger injury during the night. Actually, Raw before King of the Ring 93, the main event is actually Razor comes out and he cuts an interview with Vince and he's like, "Hey, dead man, I'm gonna run away from you, like smack and whack him." And he's like, "Hey, hit man, next time we face, I'm gonna beat you for your title." And then he's like, "Hey, kid man."
Nice.
You know, I take my 15 grand. So it's a great, well, look at all these feuds, mate. Well done.
Yeah.
Get him, Hitman! Let's do it!
Oh, so the Rumble main event is the King of the Ring curtain jerker. Huge match to kick off here. And also give the number one seed, Bret Hart, some breathing room. And just like before they start, they hit their Mortal Kombat ready poses.
Yeah.
Oh, Bret Razor, fuck yeah. The bad guy shows off his strength advantage, overpowering Bret on a lockup and blocking an arm drag with a big clothesline. And Bret shows off his technical speed, countering a slam, rolling whilst keeping his armbar applied. And then Razor tries to reverse chinlock and is immediately countered into a wrist lock. Bret had none of it. Awesome.
Bret was absolutely great doing all these moves, but I just have one kind of fault with it. Why is he working over the arm if his move is based on the leg and the back?
Maybe it's just a general wear down.
Okay.
That's all. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I just...
Commentators tout the King of the Ring tournament as having the top 8 superstars. It's like, dude, Duggan made the cut.
Yeah.
And he couldn't make the top 30 wrestlers in the Rumble. Ramon hoofs Bret shoulder first into the ring post, and we see that Hogan fan in the crowd. He's like that bad omen for the curse for Hogan, you know? Always around for all of his calamities. Crowd taunt Razor by chanting 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Listen to the crowd chanting 1, 2, 3, kid. 1, 2, 3.
He'd lost to previously 0-2 Kid, X-Pac, Shawn Waltman, and was hugely embarrassed. But it would lead to his babyface turn. More on that a bit later. Actually, they hadn't settled on the name 123 Kid yet. Like initially, Shawn Waltman came in and it was the Kamikaze Kid, and then it was the Cannonball Kid.
Lightning Kid.
Very good. And right now, it was just Kid, you know? I was like,
Kid,
yeah.
Puck, like.
It's like, that's such an embarrassing name, Kid. It's like, what's your name? Oh, bitch. How's it going, little bitch? You know?
Calling him the Kamikaze Kid, like, I can't believe Vince didn't give that to a little Japanese lad.
Bucket. Hall hits a Bradshaw follow-away slam and British Bulldog running slam. Fans pop for Bret hulking up. Oh, he's such a fantastic babyface playing the underdog, outsmarting the bigger and stronger opponent. He dodges elbow drops from Hall, ducks a haymaker en route to hitting a victory roll, and following with a gorgeous Bret's rope pinpoint elbow. After his signature sternum spot, Hart escapes a razor's edge and leverages up and over into a backslide and small package but can't get the 3. Hall last gasp charges with a clothesline. Shockingly, the ref actually sees it and gets the fuck out of the way. Anyway, you just never see it. Razor's on Bret's rope to administer a follow-away slam, but Hitman counters it into a big splash and narrowly squeaks 1, 2, 3. Bret wins it and advances 10-25. This one went. What do you think, Ook?
Really good. Not as good as the championship match of the Rumble. But as far as like a quarterfinal match of the King of the Ring, yeah, great stuff. One thing that irked me was that Bret is number 1 seed. What does that mean? It should mean he goes up against the
Duggan
worst.
or
Yeah,
that,
Duggan
yeah.
or Mr. Hughes or something. Considering Razor was number 1 contender a few months ago, I wouldn't consider him to be 8th seed. If anything, he'd probably be 2nd seed, so he shouldn't face Bret until the final.
I'm thinking he's just number 1 seed, so he didn't need a qualifier to get into the tournament.
Okay.
But I do like this, that Bret and Razor, like there's only 3 Sharks in this tournament, Bret, Razor and Perfect. And so having Bret and Razor fight in the first round gives everyone else a bit of a fighting chance. So.
Yeah.
What do you think, Steve?
Really good. Bret was super fucking over as a face. Even though he had lost his title, it seemed like to the fans, he had definitely moved on from that kind of upper mid-card wrestler to he's now the, like, Hogan is probably the top face, but he's number 2 easily. I thought he wrestled a really good match. I loved him just working over the arm, holding on to things. And I thought that the finish was great because, you know, Razor should have known better than to try and move from Bret's rope because he's the master of that rope. And it was always going to backfire. So yeah, thumbs up. Really, really liked it.
Yes, agreed. Did I enjoy this? In a word, probably yes. So let's see who Bret will face in the semifinals. Another first round matchup featuring Mr. Perfect versus Mr. Hughes. 2 Meesters. How did they qualify? Perfect plexed Doink and Mr. Hughes downed Kamala. Mr. Hughes won! Oh my god. This right here is peak Mr. Hughes. After Kamala...
This loss to Mr. Perfect is peak Mr. Hughes.
After Kamala, Harvey Whippleman moved on to Giant Gonzalez and has brought in Mr. Hughes to exact revenge on Taker and Bearer, laying them out on Superstars. And you can see Hughes here carrying the urn as his Predator trophy. Sadly for Hughes, he didn't get to even wrestle The Undertaker. Only Gonzalez did. See you next time. Sadly for us, to sell the beatdown, Taker is off the pay-per-view.
Oh my god.
But saying that, Taker, probably don't book him in it because he's not going to win the tournament. So let's just, save him. Oh, so good seeing a Mr. Perfect match. A Hennig bout I haven't seen before. He blind throws his towel perfectly onto Hughes' shoulder.
Yeah.
He's perfect.
That's 1 in 1,000 he's getting there. It's pure fucking fluke.
But if it's him doing it, it's 1,000 in 1,000.
Oh, he smirks going to the turnbuckle like he knows that was fucking awesome. And it was. They get over Hughes' power by no-selling Perfect's dropkick and Hennig diving to the outside after a punch. Hughes is putting himself at a disadvantage wearing a suit sans jacket as his wrestling attire and willingly impairing his vision by wearing sunglasses.
What are these? The state of them.
Like Edgar Davids, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly. His last TV bout where he loses to Tatanka, he doesn't last long, by the way, his glasses would crack into his eyes.
That's why you don't wear glasses when you're wrestling, people.
Yeah. Jameson, fucking take notes. No, you can leave him on. Perfect immediately grabs onto Mr. Hughes' tie. I was like, is this a choke? Or is it okay because it's part of Mr. Hughes' attire?
I don't know. Daniel Bryan got sacked for doing that.
Oh, yeah. Ask Justin Roberts.
Yeah.
I asked this question on Twitter. Here's some responses. Guy Incognito states, the referee had the opportunity to rule it as a foreign object and remove it from Mr. Hughes before the bell rang. As he didn't, perfectly legal.
The kayfabe is strong with this one. I like it.
Eggshells Chris Charlton chimes in. Daniel Gracie was disqualified at Wrestle Kingdom 8 for choking Yuji Nagata with his gi, so in Japan, no go.
Oh, you can choke with your gi in jiu-jitsu. Maybe not in MMA, though.
Just the divas, like.
Hey!
Adam Ege, Mr. Snibbles postulates, if holding the tights for extra leverage during a pin is illegal, then this can't be legal too.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. Oh, and we get the definitive word from referee Jimmy Corderas, who says...
get out. Are you serious?
Says, you can't choke Mr. Perfect with the strap from his singlet, so yes, it's a choke.
Ah,
amazing.
Really, Jimmy Cordero? Oh, nice one.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Jimmy. Wide shot with a live insert promo from Bret, asking who he'd prefer to wrestle. He says Perfect. Actually, he doesn't. JR has to say.
He doesn't give a name.
Yeah. He picks Perfect because he wants an endurance match and because he likes him better. Arm drag, big back body drop, running snapmare, and it's time for the finish. Hughes grabs the urn and hits Perfect, DQing himself in 6 minutes. The Lummox also getting out of jobbing clean. What do you think, V1?
It's not awful because Mr. Perfect is in there and he's bumping like a boss, and that's fucking great. Not terrible, but they did nothing in this match at all. And I don't see why they couldn't have just had Taker's gong go off, and then Mr. Hughes looks around in a panic and then gets rolled up or something.
Oh, I love it, Steve.
I think that'd be a better finish than just hitting Perfect with the urn, because it just makes him look like a gobshite.
Although, get ready for 25 years of distraction finishes.
Yeah, I have the same Perfect bumping like a boss, and for what?
Mr. Hughes.
Yeah, it's completely unnecessary. Save yourself for your match against Bret. I have to admit, I like the promo package with Hughes beforehand. I thought that was quite good, and like vicious urn shots to the head and great camera work to kind of avoid it looking shit.
Ooh, cameraman number 5.
Yeah, it does it again.
Hall of Famer.
So, but yeah, Hughes is terrible. A lot worse than I remember.
I don't get from a kayfabe point of view why Whippleman would hire Hughes when he had just moved on to El Gigante. He already has a monster who's battering Taker. Why does he have to hire a monster to batter Taker?
I think if he has a certain budget for monsters, and if he doesn't use it,
He doesn't get it next year.
Yeah.
Yes.
All I thought was, Mr. Hughes, how does he keep getting work? Being tall, congratulations, and looking mean.
He looks like the perfect mashup of Coco Beware and the Big Boss Man.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Bit of a stable there.
Yeah.
3 in a bed, yeah. Mr. Hughes, he may rival Kevin Nash for the smartest man in wrestling. Like, at least Kevin Nash, he looks great and he's a great talker, and imagine he's great crack to be around. But this guy, he's got nothing. You may remember him from WCW's Clash 28, jobbing to the Steiners.
You may remember him from this one squash match.
Or Wrestle War 92, jobbing to Ron Simmons. He dipped into the USWA before this, his only WWF pay-per-view at the King of the Ring 93, before going to ECW in October, notably as Shane Douglas's bodyguard, the Roughneck. Having a solid role as ECW transitioned from Eastern to Extreme. Still getting paid up until 96, splice footage of him jobbing to Bubba Ray. SummerSlam 96. He collected a paycheck from Wrestle and Romance, jobbing to King Haku before rejoining the WWF. Oh, Steve, he was Triple H's bodyguard before China.
What? Really?
Yes.
No memory of that.
And then he was Chris Jericho's bodyguard.
Yeah, do have a memory of that.
Y2J enduring a long month before he got to kick him to the curb. From then on, it's indies, including jobbing to a 56-year-old Greg Valentine, and even doing some battle royals at WrestleCon and WrestleCade in 2017. So there you go, a lifetime of work, despite being completely shite.
Isn't it amazing? The greatest gift to a wrestler is to be tall.
Yeah. He's not that. He's tall, but he's not gigantic.
No.
Perfect boy material, this guy. Anyone claim this boy?
I don't know. You can have him, lads.
Yeah, he's not.
Boy
he's not.
Grushy.
8 p.m, straight to bed.
And you, Hulk Hogan, cheated. You cheated! You stole the belt from my Yokozuna.
In the dressing room area with a 90s boombox blaring calming oriental flute music. Oh, it's a Sony boombox. Sneaky Japanese.
I do like the way that they do have a Japanese tape player for Yokozuna.
Fuge calls Hogan a cheat, saying tonight he'll be facing a bigger Yokozuna, a fatter Yokozuna.
Is that
Slower.
a gimmick? Well, I have been eating more. It's fucking ridiculous.
America will go down! Banzai!
Next up is our third quarterfinal matchup, Bam Bam Bigelow versus Jim Duggan. How did they qualify? Bigelow bummed Typhoon, and Duggan jobbed out Papa Shango. Hacksaw shoots his Woody at BamBam and starts a USA chant against a guy from New Jersey.
Yeah, well, what's the story with that? Did you like when Bobby Heenan wonders as Duggan is coming out, he's like, how is he still getting a pop?
He's moved on from the blue tights to a full-on singlet. Looks just as good as when Kurt Angle wore it. I did enjoy his tough guy, no sell, and him oddly selling his ribs like he legit heard it. Well, very good. He tries slamming the Bammer to no avail. He tries it again, gets countered, does the big standing nothing, and then gets it. One mistake too many, jumping headfirst into the turnbuckle, and Bigelow capitalizes with a top rope flying headbutt. 1, 2, 3, and advances in a tidy 5 minutes. What do you think, Ook?
Nothing match. Absolutely nothing match. Waste of time. It was just for BamBam to have a very quick, easy match because, holy shit, he's going to max be able to do 1 1/4 matches tonight.
I love that. So Bret had to take on Razor and BamBam had to take on Duggan.
Yeah. And then, I'm in the final.
Yeah. Absolutely nothing match. I pretty much have nothing to talk about for the actual match itself. It was nice to see Duggan job to someone. Like, is this the first time that he's jobbed clean?
In pay-per-view singles competition, like this is his last WWF pay-per-view, he has been pinned twice.
Wow.
Both tournament losses, so they're not real losses.
Wow. What a guy.
This and DiBiase at WrestleMania 4. Yeah, very good.
Oh my God, it's been that long. It's been 5.5 years nearly since he lost.
The wrestler count-outs, DQs, brawl to the back.
Genius.
Yeah, I was terrified that these two would go 15 minutes.
And then brought to the back.
But no, it was a svelte, fast-paced, back-and-forth match with a decisive finish. Completely forgettable, but it did what it needed to do. So, great job, lads. Duggan, he did appear at the SummerSlam Spectacular, getting crushed by Yokozuna on his way out. HOTLINE would be, the first ever HOTLINE, would be in WCW next year for Fall Brawl 94 as part of the Hogan and Friends movement of WCW, where he pinned Steve Austin in 30 seconds.
Is this
Dub.
Is this when he was wearing like his boiler suit, or is that something
that's
else?
99.
Oh, sorry.
BOY.
Every suit's a boiler suit. He managed to keep getting WCW paychecks until it died, dipped into NWA TNA, before reappearing in the WWF in 2006, like jobbing to Edge. He'd have a tag run with Eugene, mostly on Heat, sometimes on Raw, but he'd actually get the odd pay-per-view payday as well, like at the Rumble 2009 and 2012.
It's amazing how some of these guys keep getting paid.
Yeah, he's got all those backstage dancing segments that you get with the legends,
Nice.
I don't remember this at all. Was he? I assume he was wearing t-shirts at the time rather than going topless.
No, I always thought he got them out.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he had his big belly and he just wore those like blue...
Like granties.
But
Like,
yeah.
really high up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
As of 2018, his last WWE appearance was 5 years ago, jobbing out Captain Jack Swagger.
Fuck you, Vince. Fuck's sake.
Former world champion.
Former world champion, amateur badass,
30 years his junior.
amazing amateur wrestler. Actually very soon he's going to have his first MMA fight in Bellator, so I can't wait.
Oh man, that was great. Yeah, so he won convincingly. He got soup canned.
I'm pretty sure it's not going to be out for the time. I think he's fighting like early next year.
Bollocks.
Yeah.
So if you're from the future, tell us how it went.
Terry, can you hear me? Man, unbelievable. At the Hotline headquarters, it's all going on. I know the action's hot. Yeah. Be out there. We have the fucking guns, Philly and Bart. Yes, we have Crush. We have the Steiner brothers. Calls from all over the country.
I'm Terry Taylor.
That was more of a dog, wasn't it?
The cocksure reporter is literally on the phone, hence the awful audio fidelity, for the Superstar Hotline.
We don't have this.
Oh my god, it's a live exclusive with the Steiners. Crush and the Smoking Guns. Beat that. A woman asks Orange Crush about his match with Shawn. He gives a Duggan level response, saying that he thinks he has what it takes and will give it his best.
Oh my god, that's like the most generic. Like, that is the type of thing that you have your jobber who's going to get battered say. It's not,
yes.
It's not.
I'll try not to jinx myself, but I think I got what it takes, and I'll give it my best. Thank you.
They try a second call where a kid doesn't answer immediately, so they're like, okay, throw back to the arena, but that takes a few seconds, and the kid's like, hello, and then they cut him off.
Brilliant. It's Blasey.
Calling Cheryl. John, are you there?
Cheryl.
John.
Hello?
Hey, John, what's happening? Okay, we're going to throw it back to your
I want to take the fish.
Okay, Terry, thanks very much.
It's a perfect new generation, like, calamity production.
The only thing better than that is when like Vince was dialing up your man for the money giveaway and he got Rickrolled.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I think he misdialed as well. And like he had these glasses on. You know, I love wrestling. Just talking about this shite just
warms your soul.
It really does. It warms the cockles in my heart.
Or slightly higher up.
Better work this time. If not,
enjoy the music until your party answers the phone.
Now hang on, give the guy a minute. He's going to answer. Answer your phone, you idiot.
How do we get out of giving away 100 grand each week?
I have him on legs, pa.
7 years, and it's still hilarious.
It's one of our favorite all-time segments.
Yeah.
Well, dog face.
Yeah, you know, come down to the dog pound, because we're going to be a bunch of crazy dogs in the ring. Ooh, 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 ooh.
The following contest is our final first round matchup. It's the narcissist Lex Luger versus Tatanka.
Buffalo.
How did they qualify? Luger stepped on duck arse. I was thinking of. And Tatanka somehow toppled Giant Gonzalez by DQ. Both Lex and Tatanka have undefeated streaks. Buffalo's pay-per-view debut, if you remember, was at WrestleMania 8. So he's going on 16 months undefeated.
That's mad.
And Narcissus debuted at the Rumble, so about 6 months. First round matches have a 15-minute time limit, or as Heenan says, 1/3 of a moon. Semis have half an hour, and the main event has 1 hour, or TV time remaining, as we'll find out.
The red flag was waving as soon as he said this going into the fourth match on this show. Roo, 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 roo. Obviously, we're going to go to a time limit draw.
This is a 15-minute time limit, and he wants to keep that undefeated streak alive.
Yeah, but he don't understand what 15 minutes is. To him, that's 1/3 of a moon. Many moon come for I win match. You know, you understand.
Because why would they bring it up?
And hammer it home.
Yeah.
Oh, it's marking hard seeing Narcissus. But WWF have already greatly reduced his fanfare. Like Sexy Lexi's got no ladies of Narcissus. Heenan's not on his knees. But he does have a single solemn full-length mirror. I was thinking like Shawn had a mirror too.
Yeah.
But Sherry actually was part of his entourage and held it for him.
Now, do you think that plays to his character? That he is so in love with himself that he doesn't want beautiful women because he only wants to look at the reflection
only
of
wants
perfection. Also, Lex's face when he came out and he looked at the camera and did this like what kind of face thing?
What was that?
It's fucking hilarious.
A genie again, is it?
I don't know. I don't know what he,
I've always
he
wanted
was
to
doing.
get Aladdin.
But it's amazing.
Is Heenan not his manager anymore? Because there's...
Oh, man. Yeah. Heenan, like, he bigs up Luger, but as he'd big up any heel, not Luger in particular.
He's not that enamored with him anymore. He's kind of sick of him at this point, maybe.
Maybe he got sick of the teasing and he wants something a bit more, you know. Lex!
The referee does force Luger to wear a protective covering for his metal-plated forearm. This was his gimmick from his real-life arm reconstruction after his motorcycle accident, where he'd KO opponents with his deadly forearm. It had a metal plate and screws in it. How did they cover this metal-plated forearm? Wearing elbow pad.
A little bit of cloth,
on his elbow.
Are they going to wrap it in bubble wrap? Eh? What would you suggest?
Ooh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But after, he just have to hit them twice with it then. Like.
Imagine the sound that it would make when he actually does hit them.
It'd be the first time Luger gets a pop.
Hey!
Nice joke.
I loved how Luger flipped out when the ref goes, "I'm sorry, mate, but you have to put on this pad," and he just throws a fucking wobbly.
But it's me.
You know I have nothing else.
Awesome gimmick though, a body mod kind of foreign weapon. Lex relents. Heenan suggests to even the odds, Tatanka's shoes should be tied together so he can't rain dance.
I love it.
Oh, I love how ex-WCW Luger, he immediately WCW's Tatanka. Like as soon as he comes in, stomp on him. Yeah.
There's a bit where Tatanka throws Lex's mirror on him. It's left with the nastiest grease patch I've ever seen, lads. It's fucking disgusting. Like Lex just must lather himself in baby oil. It's gross.
Or Heenan does.
And it begins.
Circle right now.
Hammerlock applied. He had to offensively, and
I would have rolled him up in the...
especially since there's a 15-minute time limit in these back. Luger bent over.
Lex builds his stamina meter by selling arm wringer. Hammerlock. Counter. Counter. Okay, then a live insert with the Bammer. He says in the semis he wants to face the Indian, and when pressed he says even if he loses, Tatanka won't go any further. Lex is on offense now. Shoulder tackle to the corner. And again. And again.
Oh my God.
After a beauty of a standing jump elbow to Tatanka, Brain says, "Hey, how are ya? Hey, how are ya?" Punch kick brawl, and Lex goes into overdrive. Ow! Oh, it's getting a bit animal farmy, you know. It's a
whatever works, you know.
Slap on a reverse chin lock, rest hold on Tatanka, and Lexi gloats to Bobby, who just marks out. Like, what do you think of this, Bobby? He's like, yes.
He was
selling him insurance.
Lex was bollocksed during this match, lads. He was sucking wind very badly.
Got through it though, Steve.
He did.
Luger now working
Get him!
the upper body.
Yes! Yes!
Sunset flip and... Hello, Lex. But Tatty can't get the 3. Hitch your wagons in a circle. There's only 4 minutes left. Buffalo hulks up and goes to work. Near fall, top rope chop, and near fall. As Heenan puts it, Air Condor crashes. But time's up, 15-minute draw. Both men are eliminated and the Bammer automatically progresses to the finals. Lexi cuts a babyface promo demanding 5 more minutes. What the fuck?
I was the exact same. I was like, this should be the other way around here.
But it was to blindside Buffy with his unsheathed forearm, KOing Tatanka. And then we get an awesome sign on the hard camera, flex with Lex. Oh, so what'd you think, Hugh?
It wasn't great. I mean, Vince must have been desperate for
more Lex.
Well, yes. He needed a match to go the distance so that BamBam could get into the final because BamBam wasn't capable of wrestling 3 matches and he wanted to push BamBam for some reason. He went with Lex and Tatanka. Hell of a fucking punt. I would say it mildly paid off. I think it was acceptable. One thing I would say, if you're going to have a time limit and you're going to get to the time limit, put up a clock, 2 minutes to go to say, get the crowd excited because it was just a couple of near falls. Oh, and now it's over there. It should have been the 1, 2, ding, ding, ding,
Only the pay-per-view crowd at home who are listening to the commentators know how much time was left.
Yep.
But the crowd have no idea because they'd actually pop harder for every near fall as it gets closer to the 15-minute time limit.
Yep.
I thought it was a very simple match, which is probably for the best, Because they're both pretty limited, you know. Although I will have to say, Lex is definitely better out of the two of them. I
Hear
thought
that, Steve? Chris Chavis got one over on him. Light the beacons!
there was one spot in this match that just had me shaking my head. So you know the move where someone goes behind, woo, and like grabs their arm, and then the second wrestler ducks under, and then they have their arm. They both fuck it up in a row. It's like, you shouldn't have to do this and let go of the arm and then grab the wrist a second time. You should just be able to do it. And they both fuck it up in the space of 20 seconds. And I'm just going, lads, this is day one of wrestling school. So yeah, that was kind of shocking.
But in 15 minutes with Lex and Tatanka, and that's the only botch, they outdid themselves.
They didn't do much, though. That's the
What
point.
about the 60 things we didn't botch?
But yeah, overall, even though the match was simple, I still quite enjoyed it.
My cap, rose to the ceiling when I heard it was undefeated streak versus streak. But deflated knowing that neither would job, as we were saying during the match, they just ram home 50-minute time limit. Then I was quite contented knowing WWF gave us the most Lex they could. If I wasn't such a narcissist, Mark, I'd be much meaner. But 8 on 10. Also, thanks. I didn't want to see BamBam versus Tatanka. That would have been awful.
Oh my God. Could you imagine it?
Wait till WrestleMania for that one, I think.
And I love the great subtle booking, as this way the heel gets to rest, but the babyface has to fight an extra match. So good stuff.
Bret Hart, did you not say earlier on that you would prefer to wrestle Mr. Perfect over Mr. Hughes, and why?
Well, I just wanted to wrestle Mr. Perfect because I have more respect for his wrestling.
You think he's an easier opponent than Mr. Hughes would be?
No, that's not what I said.
That's not what I said.
Backstage promo with Bret and Perfect. Yes, awesome. We never get to see opponent promos anymore.
Guys, please, let's draw a couple of analogies. Both of you are second-generation wrestlers. Your father, a great one, and of course, Larry the Axe, a great one. But did the two of them ever meet? I'm very curious.
Yeah, they met. My dad beat his dad.
Your dad never beat my dad. Hey, I remember SummerSlam, Hart. I owe you.
Oh, I love it. It was like, my dad beat yours.
Yeah.
This is like...
No, he didn't. Of course he didn't.
This is like 2 5-year-old kids saying, my dad batter your dad. My dad batter your... My granddad would batter your granddad. It's just silly. I thought Bret was quite lost here. Almost like he didn't know what to say. And I thought it made him look like a bit of a sap.
I think it was about as realistic as a promo with 2 friends.
Yeah,
it would be. This is kind of like... no, I'm gonna whoop you. No, I think I'm gonna whoop you. Like, there's no real bravado in it. There's no shouty thing. It was just respect, but aggression.
There's no sports entertainment kind of bullshit side to it. Perfect says, let the best man win, and did a handshake. Fake, I got you. Just like I'll get you in the ring. Oh man, I've never seen this promo before. I fucking flipped watching it. 2 of my absolute favourites in a pissing contest.
Perfect was great here, though.
Yeah, they both bring up their history that Hart beat Perfect at SummerSlam 91. I loved that Gene stirred the pot. He created the drama and then told them to both to calm down. He manipulated both of them to get an A+ segment. It's incredible to see 2 major stars with so much tradition, prestige, and talent being reduced to squabbling children. Oh, masterful. Loved it.
It was great.
May the best man win. Gotcha. Just like I'm going to get you out in the ring. Just like I'm going to get you out in the ring, Hitman.
Match number 5 to wrestle Bam Bam Bigelow in the finals is Bret Hitman Hart versus Mr. Perfect. I just watched this pay-per-view with my mom, and about 1 minute into this match, seeing how hard the two are bumping for each other, she's, this is a great match. It's like, yes, it is.
I've never been more proud of you.
Bret has his fingers taped, meaning it will not be Vader time anytime soon. They bust Heenan's balls about being at fault for Perfect losing to Bret back at SummerSlam 91, and he chalks it up to not being at ringside, being too busy to call the show.
Weren't you doing business with Mr. Perfect then, and is that the reason he lost?
Well,
what happened was...
Go ahead, admit it.
Well, wait a minute. I will if you shut your mouth. I was broadcasting that evening. I couldn't be at ringside. Never mind.
You adversely affected his career, and the smartest thing he ever did was to get rid of you.
I just love the fact that they're bringing this match up and how Perfect is still pissed off about it because in his mind, he's better than Bret. And this is his chance to go out there and prove it and become King of the Ring.
Because Bret has become world champion and he hasn't. Yeah, awesome.
It's fucking great.
I love how hard Hennig bumps for Bret. They go into a headlock, but Hennig and Bret like jump and twist into it. Awesome. Legends. I didn't see Perfect bumping that hard for Mr. Hughes.
You know you're watching two elite level workers when they can make headlocks and wrist locks look awesome and never boring because, you know, Bret is kind of turning and shifting weight and Perfect is kind of grabbing at hands and at his chin and he's trying to find a way out. And it's like, this is different level wrestling to what you normally see.
Tatanka and Lex. The wrestlers are so fast with their exchanges. Thank God JR is here and on point to call it. I was thinking like Vince's crew of Macho, Heenan, Bartlett, like they've no chance keeping up with these lads. Frustrated Hennig kicks Bret around the ring, including not letting the Hitman get into the ring, revealing himself to be the default heel in this matchup. He uses the ropes to push Bret off the apron, onto a truant bucket and into the steel guardrail. Heenan is impressed and voices interest in managing him again if he were to win.
You know, I'll tell you something. If Perfect wins this match and if he becomes King of the Ring and apologizes to me, I'd consider handling him again.
Well, I'm sure that'll be low on his list of priorities.
Now, just one point. JR points out that if this match ends in a draw, BamBam is the King of the Ring.
Could you imagine?
He beat Hacksaw, Jim.
I love this. Competitive babyface starts playing dirty and responding in kind because neither man's ego could afford to lose this matchup. Perfect targets the knee, Bret already carrying a hand injury, adding to the underdog nature. Awesome. Hennig hits a big time top rope dropkick, but Bret saves himself with a leg on the ropes. Perfect follows up with a vicious turnbuckle sternum spot and scrambles to cover. Hart turns the tide with a huge superplex, a round of Perfect's patented rope flip spots, and a lengthy figure four. Oh, we are in the middle of the ring, so Perfect tries to break the hold by poking Bret's eye, who has none of it.
It's great. This is the point where the kind of match went up a gear and the fans absolutely did also. They were with this match all the way.
I can't believe what I'm watching. What a match.
The pain has got to be excruciating for Mr. Perfect. You can see it etched on his face.
Not only is the pain excruciating, not only does Perfect want to win this, I know him. I know what's inside. He'll do anything to get out of the figure four.
Mr. Perfect's going for the rope. He's almost there.
He's inches away. Inches away, Randy. Inches away.
He's a fingernail away.
He's there.
Got it.
Eventually, Perfect inches over and reaches the ropes. Hennig, he's about an 8 out of 10 cane frizz. Kurt applies a sleeper hold at the ropes and slips and falls over backwards, but he immediately shows off selling the knee from the figure four to cover up the fuck up.
I marked out. This is something that you can't teach anyone. Only if you know your character and you know wrestling inside out can you have this sense to sell it. It was brilliant.
You just see Randy Orton just runs stupid.
He's going for the sharpshooter. He's going for it. Oh, Perfect's grabbing Bret Hart's fingers. Look at that.
Counter a sharpshooter attempt by, holy shit, Perfect twisting Bret's injured fingers.
What a fucking heel.
Heenan exalts, saying he still relies on what he taught him.
Oh, it's a smart move. Whether you like it or not. It's a good strategy.
It's a smart move.
I'll tell you why it's a smart move. He is still relying on my psychology. He remembers what I taught him. That's why he's there, because of me.
Perfect goes for the perfect plex, but Bret counters and both go over the top rope, maintaining being locked up.
Man, that was a dangerous spot. I'm actually shocked that Hennig managed to talk Bret into doing this late into his second match on a card. Great spot.
I think it's like do whatever in this match, and it doesn't matter what you'll do next match, but this one is the one that counts.
And it also kind of books how evenly matched both of these guys are as well. Yeah, it's very subtle. It's great. I can guarantee that Vince didn't come up with this spot, that these two lads had a chat backstage and came up with this entire match.
Why don't you just do a dance off? Perfect goes back into the ring, and he's okay with Bret being counted out. He just wants to win because he's a heel, and suckers Bret in whilst faking a leg injury, but Bret counters the small package, rolling over so Perfect's shoulders are down. 1, 2, and 3. Bret Hart wins it and will advance to the finals. Right away, Perfect perfectly squares up to Bret and turns back babyface with a show of respect handshake, cementing his legacy as one of the all-time greats. It's like, watching this was fucking awesome.
Look at this. Look at this. That's class.
That is unbelievable.
What a sportsmanlike gesture by Mr. Perfect. And what a victory for Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah, it was brilliant. This match was so good, even... I don't know if Heenan was told to or if he wanted to. I mean, he put this match over 2 baby faces going up against each other, and he was loving the match.
He's just marking out hard.
Yeah. As was I. I mean, as far as, pardon the pun, but, perfection in terms of grappling, mat-based wrestling, timing, it just had it all. Obviously, it wasn't a high spot match. It was never going to be, but there were some nice spots in there.
It was a technical mat-based match.
Yes, yeah. And it was done so well, had me hooked. This pay-per-view in general has increased my respect for Bret no end. I mean, my respect has gone up considerably since we started OSW, but Jesus, this guy, what he accomplished this night was something else.
Fucking awesome. A joy to watch. This match was so good that I actually just stopped taking notes. I just watched it. Loved every second of it. Bret selling, Perfect with his knee selling, just how it built up. Everything. Can't say enough good things about it. This is the type of match where if you're a wrestling fan, you have to go out of your way and watch it. Unbelievable. 10 on 10.
Well, I guess we'll have to agree to agree. Both men are excellent wrestlers. Both are huge marks for each other, and so both make each other look great. So the match can be nothing but thoroughly engrossing, excellently executed. Loved it. Go watch it. Oh, Terry Taylor is in the crowd. That was a high point. Let's take it down low.
I didn't have this.
Oh, no. A live exclusive. Terry Taylor talks to a family at ringside and pulls a Mike Adamle. He's like with the WWF. I can't have it. Oh my God. We're live, pal.
We're here to interview a family. What's your name?
Wesley.
Wesley, you having a good time?
Yes.
Is this your first WWF event?
Yes.
I'm so excited I can't even talk. Mom, you glad that Bret Hart won?
Yes, I sure am.
You like Bret Hart?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm doing well. Yep, Bret's great. And the dad says Hulk is going to win. So, it's a young family there. The daughter is barefoot. Is that common in Ohio?
The Heartland, you mean?
Yes.
It's not great, like in her potato sack. And
Oh, so that is the halfway point of the show. Let's take it to the Advert Questionarium. I actually have an Advert Questionarium.
Ooh.
It's like first one of like 30 episodes. Doug the Bounty Hunter has that kind of knackery blonde frizzy hair, that grizzled white dude, and probably a star on his arse, I don't know. Which wrestler is most like Doug? Answer after the break. We have a new, in inverted commas, t-shirt coming out in time for Christmas. You can order now at squaredcircle.com. Do you want to be the envy of some wrestling fans in attendance? Do you want a hot dog and grandstand in festive fashion? Do you want to look good while stuffing your cheeks with barley goodness? Not literal barley, that would be awful.
Ew.
Be the envy of every Lex and Lenny on the block with the new What Bar Christmas t-shirt.
Nice.
Much like OSC, the t-shirt is limited. What's that, OSC? I think your silence speaks volumes. Order yours today. I was hoping you could read this as if it was like a legal disclaimer, Paid for that kind of thing. You want to give it a go?
Paid for by Squared Circle Ringwear of parts unknown. Ed Leslie loading outside your house unintentional and cannot be guaranteed. SquaredCircle.com for all your kayfabe needs.
That was brilliant. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Nice.
These reports are a snap with my head start.
No matter who you are or what you do, the fully IBM-compatible Head Start computer is the choice for everyone. A complete hardware and software package ready for your needs today and the ability to grow with you tomorrow.
Thanks, Head Start, for releasing my hitherto unsuspected intellectual prowess.
The Head Start computer, built to be compatible with you.
Before the break, I asked you, Dog the Bounty Hunter, which wrestler is most like him. If you answered DDP, you're wrong. The correct answer is Steve Blackman.
You know why we're here? Get your ass down here and open the door before I kick it in.
Well, you gonna have to kick it in because you sure the fuck ain't getting the fuck in my house. You got a warrant?
You did a pilot for Blackman's Bounty, where he was a bounty hunter who tracks down deadbeats.
You said pilot, which makes me think that this didn't get signed to a 10-year run, which it clearly should have.
I think if we keep pushing it hard enough, it will get made.
Yeah!
Everyone tweet Vince. See you next time, and thanks for playing.
You got a weapon.
That bitch just threw a glass at me. Get down here and I'll paddle your fat ass.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Oh, we got a Jimmy Hart jacket promo. And then Hogan comes into shot, points to the literal eye of the Hulkster, brother. Nice. Hogan hot dogs and grandstands like only he can. This is where the power lies. Training, prayers, vitamins, and 5-time WWF champion.
Not looking great, is he?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
He didn't make any reference to the pythons this time. But he still pointed out his arms. But
the old 12-inch python.
Yeah. Not so hot.
How did this guy get away with saying he didn't bang the roids out of it? Like, you're half the man you used to be. And Jimmy Hart has twice the brain that he is.
Especially after WWF's doctor actually admitted he sold steroids to Hogan. And he's like, no, no.
Proof, brother.
What has the mouth of the South got to say? That he's already written lyrics to Hogan's WCW song.
He's got the red, white, and blue when he doesn't even know what to do.
This man has red, white, and blue running through his veins, and he was born and raised in the USA. He's got the red, white, and blue running through his veins. He was born and raised in the USA.
Yeah, nostalgia world tour promo, all the hits, no originality. Loved it.
This, Mean Gene, is the eye of the Hulkster, brother. This is where Hulk Hogan's power lies, brother. 5 times a WWF champion.
The great American hero, the heartland of America.
The whole country of America.
In the USA, the flag, America.
The heartland of the USA. The prayers, the dreams of America. The heartland of America. What you gonna do when America and the largest guns destroy you?
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the World Wrestling Federation Championship!
It's time for your WWF Championship bout. Challenger Yokozuna versus the WWF champion Hulk Hogan. The Hulkster, he's back in Pog form. This is a return match from Mania 9 where Hogan swiftly beat Yokozuna in an impromptu match, the second biggest fuck you to Bret Hart in his career after 97. Heenan throws out a whopper saying Yoko wrestled Bret for 20-30 minutes at WrestleMania 9?
Did he now?
It was under 9.
I love how in wrestling you can literally just make up stuff and it doesn't matter because the whole point of it is just to get someone over.
Did you like WWF showing all the photographers documenting Yoko's big matchup?
Yeah, and then this guy with the big fucking beard. Which
Ford
one
coats.
Yeah, which one of you doesn't look like the rest?
This is something that I greatly miss from modern day wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it look more real.
Yeah, more sporting event.
Yeah.
So what happens now? Do they just take still frames from the video footage?
WWE have their own photographers and you can only use these ones. So it's a method of control.
Are they still around the ring though?
Yeah, you get a few of them, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. It's weird because like their flashes are hooked up to the arena. So the arena flashes. Oh, it's splice footage of this.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Ceremonial flowers from the geishas to Yokozuna. It's like, fuck that. Give me 10 steaks. Like. JR exclaims Yoko's bigger than he's ever been, now at 550 pounds plus 50. And Heenan chimes in that Hogan's trimmed down for speed and endurance.
I do like the way that he at least tried.
Yeah. Obviously, Hogan's off the gas. So even though he's still a huge, human being, he is noticeably smaller than he used to be. Like, even his mustache has gotten smaller.
Can I just say how much I love Yoko's gimmick of the fatter he gets, the more dangerous he is.
From a toilet perspective, yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Well, I mean, it's his finishing moves are, I'm going to fall on you in some way. The heavier he is, the more likely he is to win a match, even though at his lightest, he's still going to win a match by sitting on you.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome shot of Hogan at the ramp with an ominous close-up of Yoko's face on the Titantron behind them.
Kevin Dunn, mate. Oh. Kevin Dunn.
Macho Man on commentary starts throwing barbs. In kind of reference to Hulk pulling a Brock Lesnar part-time champion deal. He says, Hogan hasn't defended the championship since winning it. I'm not sure how he pulled that off.
Oh.
Savage then voices that Bret deserved a rematch, but Tony decided Yoko should, and says he questions that decision. And then, a lot of people prefer yellow and red, but for me it's the red, white and blue. Heenan says Hogan wearing yellow is ironic, calls him a coward for cheap shotting Yoko at Mania, and that the power shouldn't be in your hands, but between your ears. And Macho, no complaints.
Yeah, they are going out of their way to make Hogan look a bit shitty.
This is all before the match starts.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
And does Macho hate Hogan at this point?
As a person, yeah.
Yeah, so this is awkward.
But do you know who didn't turn on Hogan? The fans. They are rabid for this USA versus the sneaky Japanese, buying it hook, line and sinker.
I know we're well out of the Hulkamania era and Hogan is an anachronism amongst all the new gen talent we're seeing tonight. But like when he did the big giant press motion,
Oh, Hulkster, ready for war. And you can bet, ladies and gentlemen, it will be warfare here.
If anybody can slam Yokozuna, Hulk Hogan can.
The two size up. Yoko's a big dude, but he's not tall. He's shorter than Hogan. He's even shorter than Lex. So the big monster thing isn't as effective. Shame. Heenan proclaims, this is where you make it. The WWF. More money than the NFL, the NBA. It's like, yeah, you made it. Dayton, Ohio.
Here's your $25.
Storyline of the match is that Zuna is more powerful than Hulk. Each time Hogan gets on a roll, he'll attempt to slam Yoko, but he's too heavy.
Yoko eats it.
A breakfast roll. Macho is surprised at Hogan cheating by biting Yoko in the corner, and when the ref pulls him off, Hogan cocks his arm to punch him. Also, when he's in a bear hug, Hogan lunges to grasp the ref's shirt to escape, and the ref's like, Yoko misses a belly flop. That would have been devastating. And we're even, both men on the floor as their managers rally for support. And you can see the kind of Hulkamark in the crowd going, come on.
Really wrap his arms around him and make a breakfast cereal out of his ribs. Snap, crackle, and pop.
This match felt like a match from 1983 and not 1993. But I have to say, I kind of like it, It's something different.
No, kinda. This was awesome. Yoko's bollocks. Hogan shoulder tackles him and boing, bounces right off him. No effect. Heenan says it's like running into Mount Fuji.
It was great line. Absolutely awesome. And Hogan's not one for bumping. He's not one for putting other people over. But just this, but like just this bump put Yoko over big. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, and it's late into the match as well. Hogan and Hulk's...
You wouldn't run into Mount Fuji. It's not a building. You'd run up Mount Fuji.
Maybe there's a gift shop beside it. Hogan hulks out of a bear hug with an 11 count punch, but stops to sell his back from failed slam attempts. Finish of the match, Hogan hulks up and the crowd erupt, building up so many Street Fighter supers, you know, and you get the you punch, big boot. Yoko stays on his feet, another big boot, no dice, a third big boot. And timber! Yes, Yoko's floored. Big leg, but Yoko kicks out.
Immediately just pushes Hogan off. Fans can't believe it. Hogan can't believe it. V1 can't believe it. I'm like, holy shit.
To be more accurate, Hogan just jumps up. I think Yoko's too busy turtling.
By the way, JR here is going mental. Like, he is just manic. He's screaming. He is fantastic.
Some weird-looking photographer is overzealous and gets up on the apron to snap some shots. Hogan goes over to check it out, and oh my god, fire in the eyes! Hogan's blinded! It's like, fire can be our friend, whether roasting s'mores or raining down on Charlie.
Oh my god! What was that? His camera exploded! What? Right in Hogan's face! His camera exploded in Hogan's face! Yokozuna drops a leg on Hogan! Yokozuna!
One,
leg hook!
two,
Yokozuna!
we got a new champion! We got a new champion! What the hell happened?
Yoko hits the big leg, and 1, 2, 3, we have a new WWF champion in Yokozuna after 1309. Brain exclaims, the bright lights of the WWF are too much for the Hulkster.
Yeah! By the way, Hogan and Yoko both have the big leg. Yoko should just have been called the bigger leg.
Ooh.
Just book it, Dano.
The fatter leg. Hogan's helpless, but with no friends, nobody to save him. Yoko hits the banzai. And JR has a wondrous call. There's children crying.
Oh, Doink, where are you, mate?
Oh, look at these kids here in the seats.
Oh, no.
They're crying.
There's children crying.
Children crying. OC, what did you think, mate?
Yeah, I loved it. Great fun. Obviously, nothing like the previous match, but great in its own way.
Yeah. Oh my god, the difference. Both amazing matches.
Yeah.
And both work.
Yeah.
And you can have a mixture of everything on a card. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, it's preferred, really.
Yeah. Yoko is good. We've commented before, he's a good big man. This is 13 minutes. He kept up a high pace. The crowd carried the match, of course. Hogan, I was distracted by how strange he looked. I wasn't used to it.
It's WCW Hogan.
Yeah, and I didn't watch any of WCW, so I wasn't used to this version of Hogan. Just one point, the photographer. If I recall, there wasn't much of a hoo-ha made about this afterwards.
Yeah, even Tony, he
didn't even mention.
Yeah, he congratulates Yoko. And, no?
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe in Japan you're just expected that fireball daily occurrence, you know?
JR points out that this is going to be on the front page of every newspaper in the Orient. Not sure about that one. But it made the front page of my heart.
Aww. Great success as Yoko poses with the international photographers. I just wish when Hogan, Wurzel comes out and ushers him to the back, I just wish when he was selling, Bret rushed in to check on him. And we get the WrestleMania 9 finish.
Oh. So, like, Hogan put over Yoko really, really big here, but the finish wasn't clean. Is that Hogan saying that he won't lose without some kind of bollocks? Or do you think that's Vince saying, I don't want him to lose clean in case he's back in 6 months to a year?
Oh, well, this was setting up Hogan versus Yoko at SummerSlam. Actually, I have a bit on it here. I'll go through it. Okay, so the original booking plans were, so Hogan wins the belt at WrestleMania 9. Hogan promised Bret he'd return the favour down the road. And now a couple of months later, it's time to make good on that. Hogan completely reneged on it. We were supposed to get Bret versus Hogan at SummerSlam, with Bret being crowned the champion and getting the rub from Hogan. But no, Bret has to eventually get like a second-hand rub from Yokozuna.
That's just nasty.
They even had promotional photos taken of Bret and Hart kind of tugging at the belt for SummerSlam, which never saw the light of day.
Would that be like the time that Brock and Roman fought over the belt? It's my belt.
The night of King of the Ring, Bret realising he wouldn't get the rub, the belt, or even the match versus Hogan, Bret stormed into Hogan's locker room and let loose a tirade, telling him to go fuck himself. Hogan was already on thin ice with WWF, having lied on TV about taking steroids, despite WWF's doctor admitting he did, and saying on New Japan television that the WWF Championship was a toy. And look at this trinket. It's not as important as the New Japan belt.
Oh.
This belt is just a toy. It's like a trinket on a Christmas tree, like an ornament. The belt that I want is the one that the great Muta has, the IWGP belt.
The Kunster decided he was done with the WWF, so finished up his European tour with Yoko, winning by DQ, and that was that. He'd wrestle in New Japan in September, but spent most of his time filming Thunder in Paradise before signing with WCW in time for Bash at the Beach 94. Thunder in Paradise is Knight Rider meets Baywatch.
It's Night Boat, right?
There's always
a fjord. Yeah.
King of the Ring 93 was Hogan's last pay-per-view for almost 9 years, returning at No Way Out 2002. To be fair, it was a phenomenal nostalgia run over the next couple of months. A couple of my favourite wrestling memories ever, you know. About this photographer angle, Hogan suggested that Japanese outside interference, but with New Japan ref Tiger Hattori, which works as well because Yoko is kayfabe Japanese. That fell apart, but WWF kept the interference angle. Who was this photographer?
Your man, Yokozuna #1 from WrestleMania. It should have been him. It should have been him.
It was Harvey Whippleman, current manager of Giant Gonzalez and Mr. Hughes, and future WWF Women's Champion. So what we would have gotten if Hogan didn't leave is like Hogan would do the intrepid angle and he'd slam Yoko. But I guess we'll have to find another wrestler to be our hero. We're back with an ad for SummerSlam 1993, OSW 77, thank you. An event so hot we couldn't show it until the end of summer. Did you tape it already? Shawn Michaels backstage for an interview. Shawn chortles that lightning won't strike twice, another singles title changing hands, because Hogan is a dinosaur and Yoko gobbled him up like a big old brontosaurus burger. Steve, two things.
A Patasaurus burger, you fucking moron, Shawn.
Can you explain this?
So, Brontosaurus was named by...
After Steve Bronte.
Yes, by a paleontologist who was found what he thought was a brand new species of dinosaur, but it turned out it was just... I don't know if it was a bigger version or a smaller Patasaurus. And so, people have been using the name wrongly for like 150 years. And then after giving this whopper of a line, is it whopper, do you like it, burger? No, gotta cut that. Shawn then goes on to look directly into the camera while chewing his chewing gum like a cow chewing the cud for about 20 seconds. It's disgusting.
Also, calling Hogan old is like, Shawn, you're lucky he's on the way out. He'd bury you so hard.
See you in 12 years.
Turning our attention to the albino rhinestone cowboy behind them.
Who makes Homeless V1 look great, by the way. The state of him. Gene
asks for this mysterious person's name, which is my insurance policy. It's like, mate, you can't have spaces in your name. Gene presses to get his name. Diesel. As in that which makes a Mack truck go.
What was that?
Diesel. As in diesel fuel. That which makes a Mack truck go.
That which makes a Mack truck go.
I think.
Does it not make any diesel-powered vehicle go?
I'm thinking like he was halfway into the sentence and it was like, I can't stop this sentence, so I'll have to change the words around. That which makes a Mack truck go.
He was 1.4 litre Volkswagen Polo. No, Mack truck. That's the one.
Toyota Starlet.
Terry Taylor backstage talks to Mr. Perfect, fresh from his loss to Bret Hart.
Don't we see these loser promos often?
and an awful lot. Perfect puts over Bret and then just looks at Terry Taylor and says, look, I am hurt and I'm tired and I don't really want to talk, and just walks off.
And Coliseum aren't paying me anything for this.
That's it.
That's the exclusive.
Amazing, eh? This is what you're paying the big bucks for, lads.
And I'm Billy. You know, me and my partner have been riding together for a lot of years. And we're fixing to ride into the WWF to face the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you know, when it's all said and done, me and my partner Bart be riding tall in the saddle. Yeah!
It's an 8-man tag. The Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart Gunn, and the Steiners, Rick and Scott, versus the Headshrinkers, Fatu and Samu, and Money Incorporated, Ted DiBiase and IRS. Farty College Marching Band music plays. It's the Steiners, and oh my god, the Smoking Cocks. Holy shit, at least they don't have those children's cap guns and shit. Oh my god, they do.
Serious bang off them though, isn't there?
Did they smell?
It's like not so much, Red Dead John Marston, more Milky Bar Kid.
Better than any cap gun I've ever owned.
Billy and Bart debuted in May and have their pay-per-view debut tonight. And I was just like, man, it'd be great if they got their own announcer and he'd be like, prepare to be blown away by Bang Bang Bart. It's like, you're fat.
Just more me to love, baby.
Everybody's got a price. Gorgeous $1 Million Man white tuxedo. It's Money Inc. and the Samoan Savages, the Headshrinkers. We get to see DiBiase disrobe. Of course, his tux pants are stripper pants that he can whip off. Woo! Great value. This match is two feuds put together. The Guns versus the Headshrinkers and Steiners and Money Inc. who'd hot potato the belts so people would think, oh, anything can happen on a house show. Better go. To boost attendance, we saw 3 tag title changes in 6 days. Vince Russo's got nothing on that. Dual Steiner lines pushing DiBiase to the outside because the first one didn't get a pop. Quiche and Billy Gunn do some surprisingly rehearsed strike counters. Macho quizzically exclaimed, I didn't think they were that smart. It is not very savage-like. What's that smell? Is the rodeo in town? Cut to Alpha hot dogging on the outside. He's like, whoa. He's found Iris's briefcase. I love it if he opened it and taps it, opens it, empty, and the apple core falls out.
Or just a big dildo falls out.
A big black bully cock. Bart Gunn is giving it sucks. Big clotheslines and following up with finger bangs. Bang, 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 bang. Finish of the match, DiBiase slaps on $1 Million Dream. And I was like, oh, I'd fucking love it if this was the finish. He quizzically lets go and Billy is dead on his feet. Oh, but he's playing possum. Small package and Billy gets the pin so everyone can schmoz and instantly forget this match occurred. Macho processes DiBiase's decision to release the $1 Million Dream, saying, that's what you get for being an idiot.
Yeah, good. And he's a heel that he's burying, so yeah.
He wouldn't suffer it for long, as DiBiase would be in All Japan by the end of the year. What do you think, OSC? 6 1/4 star?
Yeah, absolute nothing match. Not enough Steiners. I quite like the Headshrinkers. I don't care for the Smoking Guns or Money Inc., but wanted to see Steiners and Headshrinkers. Very little to show for our efforts. I'm always marvelling at Fatu at the time. It's like, why couldn't you have stayed in that shape for longer?
He was good.
Yes.
I did get a YouTube comment saying he put on weight because he got shot. I was like, was the bullet laced with oil?
He had the scar at the time when he was Fatu the Headshrinker, so did he get shot again? People just don't like him.
50 fucking cent over here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah. Superstar Hotline. Remember that all-important number, 1-900-288-KING. $1.49 for the first minute, 99 cents each additional minutes. Average call is 3 minutes, so about $3.50, which isn't too bad. At the Superstar Hotline, we've BamBam, Razor, Owen, and Perfect. Do you guys get this?
No.
Actually, what happens, I'm not surprised. Josh has a question for the Razor. Speak to me, man. Smarky Josh asks if the 123 kid will ever be man enough to get in the ring with Razor. Hilariously, since all the other wrestlers are in on the call, it's a big conference call, Perfect says he thinks Razor's afraid. And lightning fast, Hall retorts that for $500, he'd have Mr. Perfect's mother dancing naked on a table.
Whoa.
Why do all the guys want to talk to you, Razor?
Speak to me, man.
Yeah, Razor, I want to know if you think that this 123 kid will ever be man enough to get back in the ring with you.
Nobody can turn down the kind of money the bad guy's handing out.
I don't think you want to wrestle him, to tell you the truth, Razor. I think you're afraid of him.
$7,500, I could have Mr. Perfect's mother dancing naked on a table.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you get some great questions being asked by the fans on the King of the Ring hotline.
Our penultimate matchup is for the Intercontinental title. It's champion Sexy Boy Shawn Michaels versus Crush. May 17th, which is just under 4 weeks ago, Shawn lost the IC belt to OSC's boy Marty in the highlight of his career. Also voted Match of the Year in 1993.
I have my doubts that it's better than Perfect and Bret.
But like, it's Marty. Like, who needs this?
Party Marty.
Yeah. Both Shawn and Crush kept each other from qualifying into the King of the Ring tournament via double DQ, so have their scheduled matchup here. However, last weekend, HBK got his title back with help from an unnamed mulleted bodyguard in a shell tracksuit, now known as...
That which makes a Mack truck go.
Yes. So, Funny Jack Tunney adds Shawn's belt to the match. Also gives him a bit of ska to give out about in his promos, because like Hogan hasn't defended his in months, but I just won mine last week and I already have to defend it. Pun of the night from the Nutter Centre. Earlier on, Heenan said Crush would be a nutter victim of Shawn.
Boo.
Shawn in a silver snippy fishnet number.
Right.
Yes.
You know the way people just have the worst timing when you're watching wrestling?
I think the worst fashion sense.
Oh,
yeah.
Carlina didn't walk in a slinky number, did she?
Walked in right
with
at
the
this
same
point.
outfit.
Right, I'm off to the shops.
and I was just like, hey, what do you think of this fella? She's like, I was like, did you know that he's the sexy boy? And she just laughed and walked off.
She doesn't get it.
None of
She's
it.
too young to know.
None of it.
And then Crush, aka Brian Adams, as a Fanta grape. JR kills his credibility, saying Crush has the quickness and agility of Shawn Michaels. The only thing Crush equals Michaels in is the poofiness of his blonde mullet. It's so volumized. He's like a Dilbert character. Like it's a triangle.
I can't take this guy seriously at all as a badass, because I would give him his due. He's a decent athlete, right? You know, he can move fast, he's big, he can jump. Like, you know, I won't say he kept up with Shawn, but, you know, he mostly kept up with Shawn. But, like, the state of him.
It's too bright. He's too fucking bright.
Yeah.
Oh, this match. And I was just looking around the ring, looking at everyone's head, the back of everyone's head. I was like, whoa, mullet mania. Holy shit. Shawn Michaels, Diesel, Crush Bra, and Mike Chioda, the ref, and he's got his starter mullet. Shawn is very giving. He's like, I'll bump for you. What do you want to do? Like, he stand up when what do you want to do? Including swiping to trip Shawn, but Crush initially swipes the end of the hip, Shawn's outside leg, making it awkward and kind of pulls him in towards it. But they do get it right the next time, swiping his inside leg. Nonchalant body press, giving Shaka Bra a huge rub. Minor squeeze. Shawn with a next level WCW, using Diesel to distract/square up the Crush as Shawn runs to Pearl Harbor Adams with a double axe handle. He follows up by repeatedly throwing the back of Crush's head into the ring post. That was quite vicious.
Quite nasty.
But these blows were cushioned by that mullet. Shawn slogs deadweight Crush back into the ring as JR bemoans Hawaiian Crush's woes, how he had to feud with Doink. I was like, oh, fuck you! I'd love to feud with Doink. So HBK went to the Randy Orton School of Heeldom. He says, all right, I'm going to be a heel. I don't want anyone to cheer me, although I'm a high flyer and all this. None of that. I'm just going to work to constantly put on rest holds.
I don't get. I absolutely understand where you're coming from as a heel, but at the same time, you're just taking the fans out of your matches. It's not heat. It's just nothingness. And I'd question him knowing his character doing those types of moves.
He's gonna get paid. Like I'd expect that.
So is Crush.
Yeah, but like I'd expect it from Orton. I'd say Orton doesn't give a bollocks. HBK, you would hope for more.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like,
we're talking about kind of early 2010s Orton. Like, he's actually gotten more invigorated now. Like,
yeah, he's much better now.
Twisting Jeff Hardy's dangly bits.
So great.
Back break bra. Big boot bra. Big leg bra. Too many bras. It's summoned Doink bra. And oh my god!
Doink bra!
Oh, what is this? This is the future. It's like, what can we do to top the mirror spot of WrestleMania 9? Walking in unity. Oh my god. They even have their fucking vape
cigars. Fucking smoking.
Yes.
Crush sandbagged it. I was hoping that he'd go, what? And do the rubbing the eyes.
Would we see someone smoking in WWF? I remember R-Truth had a cigarette on a Raw once. I think it was in England.
They made a big deal of it.
Yeah.
And it's not Vince just trying to like smoke shame him.
Randy Orton smokes.
Not on TV.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm sure he smokes backstage. Yeah. Like, I doubt he goes outside to smoke, you know?
Actually, I think he just vapes now. It's like you, Elsie.
A serial vapist.
Yeah. He's the vapor.
Well done, sir. Well done. Successful distraction and super kick to the back of Crush's head. Michaels picks up the win and retains his IC belt in 11 minutes 14 as Bobby exclaims, another case of double vision. What do you think?
Honestly, I'm going to be quite generous. This was way better than I thought it was going to be. I think Crush sucks. I think he's like bland, generic, but he can move. And he did a couple of nice moves. Now, you know, maybe most of the credit goes to Shawn, considering he's one of the greatest of all times. But yeah, better than I thought it was. Although I think it went a little bit long. I would have ended it after the head into the back of the post. Maybe Shawn should have gotten into the ring, do a move or two, win. And then when Crush wakes up, then Doink can come out and do the angle if they want to move on to there.
And he wouldn't know if there's two Doinks.
Oh! Gee, that's amazing. But yeah, better than I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was decent. Thought it was funny that Savage was putting over Crush in a big way. Maybe you could slam Yoko. Sandbag. Maybe you could slam Yoko. Sandbag.
He kept trying. It was amazing. Oh.
I say Crush can slam Yokozuna. Wow. I say he can slam Yokozuna.
That actually plays into the thing that they are mates, because right after this, Crush... Oh, by the way, the match was garbage. Crush, the next month in July, Crush injured his back, so they got Yoko to do an injury angle, squished him, and sent him out for 3 months. He came back in October as a new gimmick with Mr. Fuji, the Japanese sympathizer, and he just starts giving out to Macho for turning his back on him. Why didn't you help me, Macho? Why didn't you stop the Yoko's squishing me? And now I'm friends with Yoko. And he was like, Macho... So no longer was Crush his friend, brother, bra. It'll be a devastating edit.
Brother.
So that's the angle that leads to the amazing match with Macho and Crush at Mania 10.
Ooh, long-term booking. Poor Macho Man.
I think that I thought that match was bollocks, but I think it was renowned as decent, no?
Decent. Well, we'll find out sometime in the future.
A few years.
Sometime, yeah. Backstage, Mean Gene surmises that BamBam, with less matches and extra time to rest, should be as fresh as a daisy. Don't compare the beast from these to a daisy.
Yeah.
He gives a fat, sweaty, shouty Quake promo. That's about 4/10 as good. He's just... That's about it.
I got some business to take care of. I have the opportunity to be the first king of the ring, and I'm going and getting the job done.
On his way to the ring, Bam Bam Bigelow. Let's get back inside.
8 matches down, 1 match left, because it's time for your main event. Mean Gene, play us in. It's your main event. The King of the Ring finals, Bret Hitman Hart versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Oh man, I love that the King of the Ring finals is the pay-per-view main event. This is literally the first, last and only time this happens, unless you count that network special in 2015. 3 matches. So let's enjoy it. JR worries that there may not be enough time to broadcast the full match, as Bret's last match against Perfect went long, almost 19 minutes. Hilariously, this did happen to WCW, where Halloween Havoc 98 went half an hour too long, 3.5 hours. So the feed cut out during the main event, world title match, Goldberg versus DDP. So they aired it for free the next night on Nitro.
Oh my God, what a company.
So anyone that bought the pay-per-view, you got to see Hogan Warrior, but not DDP Goldberg. Story of the match is Bret is instantly fatigued, Bammer dominating, relishing in the slow pace, hitting big move after big move. Anytime Bret tries to scrappy-do comeback, he's immediately cut off. Bigelow press drops Bret over the ropes and onto the outside. It's like, oh, Hitman must be really bollocks if he didn't spider Bret and break his fall.
Yeah. Spider Bret,
second rope. Lots of long rest holds and big man beatdown. JR lauds Bret's courageousness. Brain tells Hart to quit, go to the hospital and get repaired. On the outside, Hart reverses an Irish whip into the security railings, so Bammer gets into it and Hart gets his second wind.
Did you like Bam Bam's little woo? Is a little jump over onto the barricade?
Is that how women start their runs in WWE? They always have a skip and then run.
It is, yeah.
Luna Vachon, in her awesome Dracula cape, boinks Bret with a steel chair and absconds into the night.
Boinks. I do believe the correct noun is she lance storms Bret.
Ooh, yes. Bammer brings Bret in, scoop slam, top rope, flying headbutt. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, Bigelow wins it! Holy shit.
Gotta be over. 1, 2.
I'm into the car.
It's over. Bigelow's won it. Bigelow's the king of the ring. I can't believe it.
But no, senior referee Earl Hebner Panto explains to the other ref what happens. Like, no, I came out the bike and it just flies away.
And then all of a sudden, all you hear is the cowbell. Dun, dun, dun. He's just a common man.
You see all the fans in row Z going, yes.
Eating all the bags of ham.
Fink announces the refs reversed his decision. No, he stood corrected, like the man in the orthopedic shoes. The match will continue, thank God. Long, single-shouldered torture rack, which includes a bit of pump action. Bam goes, bit of that.
Lex used to do that with the torture rack.
Oh, yeah.
Used to jump up and down.
Yeah. It was great.
I love that spot.
Yeah. Lex did it way better.
Yeah, of course he did. He's Lex.
Bret wiggles down and hits a side suplex. Plunger to the outside. Bret's rope clothesline. Bret's rope bulldog. It's blind. It's perfectly timed from the Bammer because he can't see Bret. He just has to bump when Bret comes down. So he perfectly times it because he's a pro. Bigelow's too strong for a sharpshooter, just bucks Bret off. So Bret's rope scales up and onto Bigelow's shoulders. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And rolls forward and down into a victory roll. And 1, 2, 3. Bret wins it in 18 minutes 11. Bret is the first ever King of the Ring on pay-per-view.
Asterix.
He got him in a victory roll. He's got the fleet hook. Bret Hart is the King of the Ring.
Wurzel immediately ushers Bret to the interview podium, where Gene is waiting with the royal gown and a crown and scepter and proclaims Bret King of the Ring. What do you think?
Great. So Bret has wrestled 3 different match styles against 3 very different opponents, I would say. 3 different storylines, and he's just fucking knocked it out of the park. He nailed it. Bret Perfect was the best one. This one, though, fuck me, this was like he played, and I suppose it didn't take a huge amount for Bret to act tired, because he fucking was tired.
Yeah, he wrestled a total of 47-37.
And he just kept going. BamBam played his part as well. He's just good. Very solid big man. So was this pay-per-view the apology from Vince to Bret for WrestleMania 9, maybe?
This is absolutely that. Yeah. It was like, sorry for Smack 'em Whack 'em. Sorry for WrestleMania 9. Here's the King of the Ring. Yeah. Just enjoy it for the 30 seconds before we do a run-in bullshit finish.
Great match. Loved it.
You deserve it, Bret the Hitman Hart.
I proclaim ye, Bret the Hitman Hart, the King of the Ring.
Oh, yeah.
I love the entire plot of the night of Bret running the gauntlet. Like you said, having 3 different types of matches with 3 very different wrestlers. Obviously, he peaked with Perfect. That match is incredible. I didn't enjoy this match at all, if I'm being honest. I thought it was boring for long parts. Basically, every time Bret got in a few punches or kicks, offense, the fans picked up. But because they were telling the plot that Bret was knackered and bollocksed and injured, or then he just couldn't batter BamBam for long. And so then BamBam would get more heat and the crowd would die again. And honestly, I found myself quite bored.
It was 18 minutes. It's a long time to do. You got over that storyline in 3 minutes.
Yeah. So, I just wish that they kind of cut maybe 8 minutes of this match, gave it to something different.
Gave it to the Bushwhackers.
On the show.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, Bret, amazing. An absolute wonderful wrestler. This was one of his best nights. He was incredible, but I just didn't like this match.
Okay. I actually agree with you. It was too long for the story that they told. He looked absolutely shattered in this last match here, which made the match feel long at 18 minutes, but it made Bret look like such a hero. So, thanks. Oh, it's great. I love Bret so much, and this is an iconic night in his career, so I'm really happy for him.
What action? Wait a minute, Jerry Lawler, what in God's name are you doing here, King Lawler?
New Japan style post-match confrontation after the main event. King Lawler immediately challenges Bret Hart, but graciously allows Bret to be a prince if he bows down and kisses Lawler's feet.
Great line.
Hitman, having not eaten since lunchtime, calls Lawler a Burger King and gets the crowd to chant along.
The only kind of king you are is the Burger King.
Oh, no. Exactly.
Burger King. Burger King.
Burger King.
Burger King.
Incensed, Lawler gives Bret the beatdown. See you at SummerSlam. I'll tell you what, Lawler has a fantastic worked boot. When he kicks Bret, it looks great.
Does he kick the boot?
He does indeed. Bret eats some shoe leather and we're out as JR shrills, "This is terrible." I'll just take that out of context. So this starts a storied 2+ year feud with Jerry and Bret. Jesus,
OC shaking his head here.
God.
It includes the debut of a certain Isaac Yankem DDS. Who can say no to that?
Barely 20 years in the business.
Jerry having beef with someone else being called the king makes total sense. He's been proclaiming himself the king since 1974 after beating Jackie Fargo in the AWA for their Southern Heavyweight belt.
But then Bret makes a really good counterpoint saying, "You're a coward because you didn't even enter this King of the Ring, and so therefore you have no right to be called the king."
He should be like, "Shut up, you got to buy into the first round." And he's like, "Oh yeah."
So most feuds, most feuds, both parties think they're right, and it's good. I'm sure the matches will be great, Steve. Eh?
Fuck no. Fuck no.
Yeah, so let WWE's Game of Thrones begin.
Nice. By the way, the state of the King gear, it's off. I was delighted that King smashed it up.
Could they not have gotten a nice one? Why did they get Stephanie and her arts and crafts? There's no way it could not look goofy.
This segment with the King, I think I can kind of understand them bringing him in because maybe Bret didn't want to have to cut a promo for like 2 minutes, so we'll just cut it short. King come in, maybe he would have been better off on Raw.
Absolutely, let him enjoy the night and do this angle tomorrow night on Raw.
Absolutely. Well, it's difficult when you tape 2 Raws in one night.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's Raw was taped last week. Yeah. Oh yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously you can't have Bret come out last Monday and going, I'm going to win King of the Ring on Sunday. Please buy it.
And an hour later, yay! I won King of the Ring on Sunday.
A lot of nose tapping going on. That's hilarious. You shouldn't be taping Raws past the pay-per-view.
No, never.
No.
It's bad timing, isn't it? It's bad booking.
Small news that Lawler actually messed up Bret's back with that final scepter shot. Small bit about Luna. Originally it was supposed to be Luna and BamBam versus Tatanka and Sherry, a mixed tag, but Sherry left, so they nixed it. But they kept BamBam and Luna, nice pairing together, nice new gen pairing. So JR, what was that you said about the new gen era?
This is terrible. This is terrible. Good night, everybody.
This is terrible. And curtain down. Welcome to the Aftermath. OSC, buddy, what did you make of the King of the Ring 1993?
It's like I'm thinking of good new gen pay-per-views. It's definitely top 3. All 3 Bret matches, in my opinion. Okay, you didn't like the last one. I loved it. And Yoko versus Hogan. That's 4 out of 9 matches I thought were way above average. Bordering on really good, bordering on great. That's a great return, especially in 1993 to 1997. So, really good. Check it out.
I really liked this show. This was such an easy watch. Obviously, this is Bret's show, and Bret was incredible. Really good opener against Razor. One of the best matches of this era against Perfect. And a great storyline in his final match. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the actual match, the overall package was unbelievable. And then you factor in Hogan versus Yoko, which is like the best of like wrestling bollocks, fans going mental.
No, sports entertainment. It was legit great.
Yeah. But
it's not Dungeon of Doom bollocks.
I thought that the second half of the show kind of suffered a bit. The 8-man tag was absolutely nothing. Crush versus Shawn was better than I thought it was going to be, but it's not like it was great. And the main event wasn't awesome. But there's so many other great things on the show. I thought Mean Gene throughout the entire show was brilliant. JR and Heenan on commentary were fantastic. And of course we get Vince screaming down the intro of the card. Overall, loved everything. I really liked the ending angle, which is obviously building up to a feud with Bret versus Jerry Lawler. 2 gorilla thumbs up. Really, really liked it.
Excellent. Yeah, I loved watching this as well. It did feel very long in the tooth after Hogan, because you've obviously seen Bret Perfect and you got your fill with the technical wrestling and Hogan versus the Giant, not the Giant, a Giant, No, it was great. I love it. Okay, this was the lowest attended King of the Ring pay-per-view, but that means that, it did well and it only got better from here, Next year had WWE amount of people with it. It's very middle of the road pay-per-view buys. Like it was literally
King of the Road.
3 out of shit, you gotta take this on the road. Yeah, an iconic night in Bret's career, a showcase performance, wrestling a crafty Cuban, a legendary tactician, and a giant fat bloke. Very different matchups. I loved Hogan's match and its shocking finish, and I loved that Hogan was on halfway through the night. That should have happened at Mania 8. And wow, the whirlwind of absolute garbage for the rest of the card. Not the best from Macho, and Heenan has had better nights, but JR did an excellent job providing a serious play-by-play. And okay, the new generation itself, it's a low point for the WWF, but it's a high point for kayfabe.
Yeah.
Great matches, bollocks matches, Hogan jobbing, so there's something for everyone to enjoy. So absolutely worth a watch. one big piece of ska coming from the finish of the Bret BamBam match is that when he did the whoop 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 victory roll up and down, actually pinned BamBam, Bret farted in his face.
Nice.
The old hitman fart.
I would too. Like,
Bret's
it's
a shit, man.
a terrifying move to have to do. Would you do it? Would you
Victory
do that move?
roll.
Yeah.
Fart in your face. Who am I wrestling? Me and you know.
And you're both injured.
Who brought these sandbags?
I still remember the finish, man. A little roll up.
Oh, the victory roll, yeah.
Yeah, a little victory roll, man. You know, and I think when he did that, he farted right in my face, too. And I was like, you son of a bitch. You know, he went up, victory roll, under, and I was like, oh, Bret. You know, and I had taken all that protein powder. Oh, you killed me, man. And he was, oh, God, even Hebner was dying going down for the truth. If you watch the tape, he's holding his nose. That's hysterical, man. But Bret, I love Bret, man. He's just one of my best buds in the business.
So it's time to go for the wrestling is?
Awesome.
Awesome segments.
Awesome!
Oh my god, an OSW game coming soon. How soon? Check my Facebook and Twitter. Well, that does it for this week, folks. King of the Ring 93 is on the books.
In the pocket.
How to say?
What do you think of that one, Luke?
Very good. Really enjoyed that one.
Oh, very good, very good.
I think you knew you'd enjoy this one.
Very much so.
Lots of fun. It's going to be a good one.
Oh, remember you can watch all of our episodes free of charge and IMAX favorite 4:3 full screen at
OSWReview.com.
Oh yeah, and if you want to slip us a couple of bucks, squeak us.
It's just fart, doesn't it?
Drop.
Can't do it.
Drop some coins into our, coffee by accident and create a whole ruckus. You can and watch some exclusive reviews and some music and whatever. Ask me and I'll do your homework for you. You can at
nuggeru.oswreview.com.
Yes. So it's a goodbye from V1.
Take a fucking boo.
OSE. And myself, Jay Hunter. And remember, a winner is you.